They always say that you're going to find an excuse not to do something, and I've been finding lots of excuses not to start long form content, and that has been what I really want to do. And I just went through a lot of heartbreak. I am on day 3 of no contact with the most amazing guy ever. And it sucks, but you know what? Like, this has inspired me to do the things, to do it with a broken heart, to just do it. So, my first long form video, um, I'm not going to cut this at all because I have no energy to. So, if I mess up, sorry. Um, but yeah, my first long form video is going to be my burn letter to Sludge. And there's no way he'll be able to see this because I don't think that this would end up on his parts of YouTube. And if it does, then even better. Because I wouldn't mind if he heard this. I'm going to try not to cry. But they're happy tears. They're happy tears. I promise. A letter to my Sludge. I don't think I'll ever be able to fully express what our relationship meant to me. You came into my life during the darkest season. No, wait. You came into my life during the darkest seasons. That don't make sense. Anyways, you came into my life during the darkest season and you had no idea. I was living in pure hell. Like, seriously, I was not okay. I was working on it, but I was a mess. And then I met you. From the moment I met you, I made it my personal mission to win you over. It felt like a calling or something. I just knew a story was here. I was already trying to heal before I met you. I was watching every self help video out there. For some reason, I felt stuck, like nothing could shake me, nothing could wake me up from the darkness that surrounded me. When we met, you became my inspiration. I had to snap out of it, and I did. I was committed to healing and growing. I finally started applying everything I had learned, and as I did, I healed more and more. I turned my entire For You page into self help and woo woo manifesting content. I didn't even watch TV recreationally, I was locked in. You activated my mission. As a single mom, you wouldn't believe the survival mode that puts you in. Going to work, trying to balance everything all by yourself. It was relentless. I remember I used to be kind of snappy to my kids because every day I was just surviving. When my mom would call, I'd rush her off the phone or I'd answer, "What?" Because I always felt like the sky was falling. I worked through all of my kids' baby years. I can't even remember their first steps, how their first tooth got lost. Survival mode is good for robbing memory. I never got to be the crust cutting, lunchbox packing mom. I became the "oh my god, it's field day" mom and the "no, your cousin can't spend the night because the house is a mess" mom. On top of that, I had to be the disciplinarian. And it was pretty obvious I had no idea what I was doing. Everything fell solely on my shoulders, and the weight felt heavy. And then, boom, the straw that broke the camel's back. I have ADHD. I have no clue where I was going with that. But the point is, I was in survival mode, and survival mode steals all the joy of being the best mom you want to be for your kids. And you helped me out of that. You taught me that I do actually like Indian food. Even though I lied and told you that I had tried it before when I really hadn't, just because I didn't want to waste a good meal on Indian food. How to fish, how to shoot, how to a few moves in jujitsu, craps, how to floss. You were never doing it right. I just hyped you up because I loved how confidently you did it, thinking it was right. I thought it was so cute. Also, I had no idea you were going to send that to Brad. But most importantly, you taught me how to be a good mom to my kids. I never had a true man in my life show up for me the way that you did. I got to see what having a real life partner was like. You stepped in and stepped up. On days when I didn't feel good, you entertained the kids so I could rest. I have never had that kind of support. Excuse me. My shirt is covered in snot. Okay. Okay. When I didn't feel good, you'd entertain the kids so I could rest. I never had that kind of support. You provided for me in so many ways that I was finally able to let my nervous system reset and see everything so much clearer. You are so grounded in your masculine energy. You catapulted me into a new life. I suddenly got to be the mom who got all the homework done and still had time for crafts. I got to bake cookies and clean like a little Cinderella. I discovered I really enjoy jazz music. Who would have thought? I fell in love with who I got to be with you, and it changed my world. When you left, I thought that meant ripping all of that away from me. I wasn't just upset over you, I was grieving over the thought of going back to who I was before I met you. I had to leave the literal life I had manifested last year. Everything on my vision board. I was in a beautiful cabin. I moved to the mountains. I had grew. I had become the mother I wanted to be. Our family felt like what a real family should feel like. I actually still love cleaning. I checked off so many things, including finding a love that was patient, steady, and kind. You always made me feel heard. You always let me speak, and you listened to every word. You could sense when I wasn't okay and made it your mission to make it okay. You never dismissed me or made me feel crazy. You always validated me. You would literally drop everything you're doing to go get Wavy a special lollipop because her throat feels itchy. I came from relationships that were toxic, chaotic, and sometimes even scary. God, you made me feel safe. I would have done anything with you by my side. I wasn't scared of anything. I always felt protected. I hadn't felt that safe since I was a little girl. No man, besides Mike G, had ever treated me that kindly. Excuse me again. It's fine, I'm changing the shirt later. I'm just gonna wallow in it for a while. I'm okay. Okay. Had ever treated me that kindly. Losing you felt like losing my happily ever after because you were the first person to show up for me in a way I didn't think was possible for me. You opened my eyes to the type of love I deserve. You broke a huge cycle for me, and I can never thank you enough for that. And all of that, no one can take away from me because I did the work. I grew. I am not starting over. We are leveling up into what's ahead, and you prepared me for that. I know it didn't work out. And that's okay with me because this chapter with you isn't meant to be left with grief or resentment. I am leaving it with gratitude. I know I will get my happily ever after because you showed me it was real. Every day gets easier as it becomes clearer and clearer what purpose you served in my life and how much growth I've experienced. I will always hold a special place in my heart for you. We did the best we could. And even though it didn't work out between us, there's a piece of me that will forever be in that tent in Montana, looking up at the stars, laying beside you. Thank you for everything. You're such